Respected judges, ladies and gentlemen, greetings, and I welcome you all to the grand finale presentation of World Asian Case Competition by Team Crack Plateau, University of Dhaka, Bangladesh. I am CB Ryan along with my teammates Fayaz, Mahir, and Akib here to present our story on Robi 10-minute school. So in this story, we will highlight how a second-year university student without any initial technical or financial support established online education in a country where the internet penetration rate is close to 18% only. In 6 chapters, we will trace the company development, identify the turning points, success factors, key issues, future plans, and finally present our humble recommendations. So let's start with the company overview. Robi 10-minute school, founded by Ayman Sadiq, is the largest web-based classroom in Bangladesh. How large exactly? 380,000 students study here every day for free. In 6 years, the company has built the largest content library in Bangladesh and as well as the largest fan base, 6.5 million active social followers to be exact. The Facebook page alone has over 1 million monthly views. The company has won hearts and awards across the border and is referred to as one of the most impactful social projects to ever happen in the education landscape of Bangladesh. So the question is, why doesn't EdTech have such a profound impact on the lives of million people? So you see, the education system of Bangladesh is riddled with problems. 20% students drop out in the elementary level, 38% in the lower secondary level. The situation is even worse in female and tertiary education. Only 5% students can study in the low-cost public universities. The rest have to resort to private universities. But that's not an option. We are talking about a country of 18 million people with 21% poverty rate and 9% extreme poverty rate. So how do you tell these people to pay $10,000 to $18,000 for a university degree? You don't. The system is also known for its poor administration, lack of quality teachers, and substandard study materials. So now you know why free online quality education offered by 10-minute school was an absolute game changer. So let's talk about the target segment of Robi 10-minute school. 27 million students are from the national curriculum background, NCDB segment, the biggest segment of all. The rest comprises admission seekers, job seekers, and university students. Now, after the company timeline. In between September 2014, the core team kick-started with only a Facebook page. In 2015, the team launched their website, YouTube channel, and blog section. At the end of 15, their viral data limited. With the help of Robi, 10-minute school launched a nationwide activation program and introduced unheard educational approaches in Bangladesh, such as Facebook Live Plus, Skill Development Lab, or interactive videos. In 2017, the team signed a contract with the Bangladesh government and went on to diversify their content portfolio and created 8 new YouTube channels and 10 massive Facebook groups. In 2018, 10-minute school got rebranded as Robi 10-minute school and collaborated with the British Council. 2019 and 2020 were mostly known for their application launches. At this point, I'd like to hand over the floor to my teammate Oshik.
Hello everyone, I am Fayaz Oshik here to discuss the turning points for Robi 10-minute school. There are 3 to be exact. The first milestone is the partnership with Robi Axiata Limited. 10-minute school had all the ideas in the world, but did not have enough resources to execute them. The partnership equipped them with the financial and technical support required to capture the target market comprising of 70% of the market. The after effects of the sponsorship are clearly visible in the number of videos and subscribers before and after the partnership. So why are we considering the partnership to be the biggest milestone for 10-minute school? The financing helped 10-minute school to create a content library big enough to create an entry barrier for potential competitors and diverse enough to increase the market size itself. Moreover, the rebranding allowed 10-minute school and gained the trust of people. The memorandum of understanding with the government is the second milestone in Robi 10-minute school success. Here's a quick question. How do you even dream of establishing an EdTech in a country with 18% internet penetration rate, whereas the global average is close to 50%? Easy, you partner up with the government. In January 2017, 10-minute schools thus signed a contract with the ICT division of the government to promote digital education in the country together. The contract allowed 10-minute school to go beyond the traditional internet issues and reach students at the root level by broadcasting its lessons to 2,000 training labs across the country. Moreover, the project also empowered 20,000 underprivileged students. Finally, the reach was phenomenal. 10% of all educational institutions in Bangladesh were reached. The third turning point is the mobile application launch. Around 65% of the total population in Bangladesh live in rural areas, but the number of internet users is 42% higher in urban areas. Furthermore, online learning is still not a scalable idea in Bangladesh because broadband internet connection is mostly limited to the urban population and the internet speed is very slow in Bangladesh with an average of 9.6 Mbps versus the global average of 25 Mbps. This is where the mobile app makes a difference. The app is designed to be used both online and offline, and it was also well received among the users for the great user experience and improved UX features. As a matter of fact, an average user spends 5 more minutes on the app than he or she would on the website. No wonder the app hit 1 million downloads within a year. That's all from me. Let's hear from our next speaker, Mahi.
Now let's have a look into the success factors of 10-minute school. Firstly comes content coverage strategy or broadening the pond itself. The end goal was to transmute Robi 10-minute school into a one-stop destination for the 4 customer segments and beyond. Back in 2016, several competitors such as Onorokam Pathshala and Bahubri were popping up. In order to capture the NCTP segment before others do, 10-minute school launched a new YouTube channel for class 1 to 12. The channel covered the whole NCTP syllabus in least possible time. The instructors also took live classes before major board exams and created over 900 smart books exclusively for this segment. The next step was to capture a common segment among the 4, the English learners. Because of several socio-cultural issues, proficiency in English was considered a must-have skill in education and job sector in Bangladesh. However, the existing English coaching centers were substandard and charged way too high. Therefore, 10-minute school came in and created a huge playlist for English learners. The last step was to capitalize on the rising ECA or extracurricular activities culture among students. As if to test the waters, 10-minute school released a playlist on how to solve a business case. The playlist was an absolute hit among business students. As of now, 10-minute school has different YouTube channel for different extracurricular needs. Moving on to the second factor, influencer marketing. The instructors of 10-minute school were well-known public figures with millions of followers. Ayman himself was an idol among student community for his excellent orator skills and international recognition. Hence, 10-minute school leveraged the trust and publicity of these influencers and used multi-channel promotion to gain wide-scale reach and hence a larger website traffic and greater app usage with low acquisition cost. Finally, community building. In an interview with National Daily, Ayman acknowledged that creating the community was the biggest success factor for 10-minute school. In Bangladesh, 1/5 of the national bandwidth is used only for Facebook, where 55% of the Facebook demographics match the target criteria of 10-minute school. Following the success of Facebook Live classes, 10 other Facebook groups were created which became the source of positive word of mouth and note sharing. 10-minute school thus showed how low fund startups can harness the power of communities with minimal marketing budget. Despite this dominating success and popularity, we cannot overlook the challenges that lie ahead. Content coverage was supposed to be a success factor, right? However, at present, the content library has raised several novel issues. To beat the competition, 10-minute school had created almost 15,000 videos in less than 3 years, approximating 13 videos a day. So somewhere along the line, quality was sacrificed for the sake of quantity. So if 10-minute school plans to expand further, revising the content library is a must. Moreover, the team must think beyond traditional video format to dynamic content. Finally, a discussion forum would allow peer feedback and more user engagement. The next issue is sponsor-dependent business model. 10-minute school is originally a CSR project of Robi, so the more the company grows, the less sponsorship it is entitled to. So what happens once Robi stops funding 10-minute school? This brings us to our next chapter. With this, I leave the floor to Akib.
Thank you, Mahi. So what is 10-minute school planning to do now? Firstly, the company has introduced a corporate training app for the B2B market, since the existing training programs are underdeveloped, too expensive, and unstandardized. This e-training app comes with a monthly or yearly subscription that allows access to training modules and online professional courses backed by quizzes, leaderboard, and supervisor evaluation. It also offers onboarding features and analytics dashboard that makes it a complete HR solution. Already, major corporations in Bangladesh have adopted the app and undergone a successful trial phase. Secondly, 10-minute school is planning to expand into Asia by leveraging the strongholds of Axiata Limited. The most probable choices for expansion are Nepal, Indonesia, and Cambodia. Why? Because all these countries face similar problems as Bangladesh does: expensive quality education, overpopulation, etc. And there is also a growing affinity towards online learning. After analyzing everything till now, we have come up with 3 recommendations. Firstly, a virtual coaching model. The coaching industry is worth $1.43 billion, but the best coaching centers are situated mostly in the capital and major cities.
So 63% students residing in suburban and rural areas end up spending 26% of their education costs on low quality coaching centers. Therefore, 10-minute school can introduce a virtual coaching platform that will offer students everything they had been missing on: scheduled classes, personalized assessment, two-way feedback, and many more. So why do we think that people would accept such platform? Because students have already been spending a lot on substandard coaching. So why not spend less money on more quality education offered by experienced instructors? This is actually a win-win for all. Moreover, it will also strengthen the partnership with Robi, as the operator can introduce student internet packages and acquire more customers in the process. Second on the list is the content marketing consultancy wing. At present, there are 34 million active social media users and 32 million mobile social users in Bangladesh, with a promising growth rate. Thus, Bangladesh has become a breeding ground for digital agencies. However, most agencies are limited to Facebook marketing only. They rarely offer content services and are mostly run by inexperienced students. Therefore, a content marketing agency backed by solid industry experience of the in-house marketing team and mentored by ADA, a subsidiary of Azure Limited, will be truly welcomed in the industry. Final item on the list is paid courses and certifications. Since the lockdown started, the demand for massive open online courses have been skyrocketed, as you can see here. Even in Bangladesh, 11 major universities started offering free Coursera subscriptions. As the free subscriptions end, the student will be looking for alternatives. But enrollment in international MOOs is free credit card payment. However, the number of credit card users in Bangladesh is extremely negligible. On the other hand, mobile financial services are on the rise. Thus, 10-minute school can incorporate MFS payment and introduce advanced courses with video lessons, tests, and study materials while keeping the original content library free. That is a freemium model. Moreover, features such as specializations, personalized assessment, and certifications can be added as incentives. Therefore, 10-minute school will have evolved from a sponsorship-dependent model to a sustainable business as proposed here. The story of 10-minute school and our recommendations can be generalized across multiple South Asian countries, and thus lies as testament to all the struggling edtech startups out there. That's all from our side. Thank you for your patience hearing. We are now open to questions.